Minister Fikile Mbalula is visiting the scene of yesterday's horrific bus accident at Butterworth in the Eastern Cape. 25 people were killed and dozens more injured when the bus rolled down a steep ravine. Investigations are underway into the cause of the crash. Let's cross now to Centane, where the Transport Minister is, to my colleague Atule Joke. Atule, over to you.
Well, a good day to you, Nombu, and a warm welcome to SABC News viewers. Well, today we are in Centane, just between Kebe village to Centane, where the horrific bus accident occurred here yesterday. It was ferrying pensioners and also children from Kebe village when it capsized and overturned and also plunged and pummeled over 200 meters down on this embankment here. We have been here since the morning. We've been talking to the villagers who've seen what had happened here. They said the bus driver lost control of the bus, which was speeding at the moment, and also some of the concerns that residents were complaining about was the issue of a poor road infrastructure here in Centane. They are complaining that they've been complaining about this road. I remember last year in October we were here speaking to the residents. They were saying the poor road infrastructure here, this 28-kilometer stretch, they've been complaining about since the days of MEC Mahau, who was then the MEC for Public Works and Road Infrastructure, who promised them that in 2017-2018 financial year they will build this road. So they are complaining that this road is not in a good state to be used by the villagers here. So they were complaining about some of those things, and also spoke to the Commissioner for the Police, Umamu General Liz Wenchinga. She was saying, as the police, they have opened a case of culpable homicide. They are conducting their own investigations. They're also trying to assist the families. They have dispatched a mobile police station to a nearby clinic to sort of assist those families who will be needing to do affidavits and also to do a death certificate, so that they have convenience in doing that. The Minister Fikile Mbalula, the Minister for Transport, has just arrived here, being accompanied by a huge entourage coming here with this entourage. He's been looking at this, assessing the situation here. He was moving with his chopper when he arrived here, trying to look at the scene, trying to look at the crash scene to check what has really happened. So the traffic officials and also the police are taking him through what had happened here when this bus capsized, overturned and rolled over this embankment over 200 meters down low here. So we'll be waiting to see if we can grab the minister when he comes here. Right about now, he is being taken through of what has happened now. But this horrific bus accident is quite sad. It's quite depressing for people around here. We do know that the number is confirmed now to be 25. Earlier on, we were told that 24 people had perished, but it was confirmed that the 3-year-old who was also rescued here and airlifted to East London has also passed away this morning, taking the number to 25. Over 70 people have also passed away. We've also had a moment to chat to the bus company which is involved. They've also taken us through of what has happened, but the minister is coming through. We will try and engage with him to try and see what has happened, and also the sort of interventions that the government will be doing here. He's busy greeting some of the members who have been looking at the scene. We will chat to the minister as he comes through. We are just waiting on him. Yes. As he is engaging with some of the people who have been looking at the scene. About 25 people have passed away on this.
Atule, while you're waiting to speak to the minister, Atule, can you hear me? Atule?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, while you're waiting for the minister to approach you, just give us a sense of what the residents' sentiment is. Are they angry, not just at the accident happening and perhaps maybe even blaming the driver because they're talking about speed, but are they angry at the infrastructure and the fact that it hasn't been dealt with all this time?
Yes, what I gathered from the residents is a sense of disappointment, because when we were here in October, they were told us, they were telling us that this road infrastructure is what they termed a death trap, which is waiting for an accident to happen in any time. So they were quite disappointed that finally for government to do something, they have to wait for something like this to happen. Of course, they were very disappointed with what has happened.
Of course. Well, I think
the minister will be coming through now. Nambu?
Yes, no, it's fine. Let the minister approach you. I think he is heading towards you. So we'll leave you to continue.
Okay. Okay, Nambu. Well, the minister is coming through to us. We will try and speak to the minister as he arrives. Minister, a warm welcome and welcome to SABC News.
Okay.
Yes, Minister, just to take us through with the sense of what we have seen so far. We've seen with your chopper, you tried to assess the crash scene, and also they've taken you through this embargo. What sense have you got so far?
Well, it was not a real assessment. They are professionals on the ground. As you can see, they are experts who are doing the construction of the crime scene. So we've got the road accident fund here, and then we've got RTMC, and then we've got the police in the province and the MEC, and we're doing an assessment of exactly what happened, but experts will tell us whether the bus went out of control, as it is alleged, and what could have been a problem with the bus itself. And with the numbers of people that are reported to be dead, and also the numbers of those who are still in hospital, it's quite clear that when you talk about overloading already, it points to that. So that must be properly examined. So we don't want to put the cart before the horse, because I need to get a proper investigation report and act on it. And that is why we are here. We'll go and see the people who are actually injured, and also talk to the families.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, Minister. Also, not to try to preempt anything, but last year in October, we were here speaking to residents. They were complaining about this stretch of road, saying they've been promised for quite a number of years, even by the then MEC Mahau for road infrastructure, who said this road will be done in the 2017-2018 financial year, but those promises have not been met up until now. What do you say to the residents who are complaining about the poor road infrastructure here?
The poor road infrastructure, I see it for myself, and so I don't know why people make promises and they don't meet them. So I'm with the MEC here. Obviously, we have to put our heads together to make it a point that not only this road and other interleading roads to this road that are very dangerous and that have been responsible for a number of deaths and all of that, that on our part we've got to act, and we've got to attend to that. It is a pity this is brought to us when there is an accident, but you will know that in the premier State of the Province address, the issue of this road that is killing our people has also been addressed. But over and above that, driving here and knowing that you see, you are totally exposed if you drive here. You miss the brakes or anything else, you are gone. So there's got to be some protection of some sort here in this road that is used by our people and buses and so on. But that does not take responsibility from those who are transporting our people in the commuter life themselves to be held accountable. It cannot be that a bus in Limpopo kills people, a bus here in 2015 kills people, nothing happens to the road, nothing happens to the bus company, and then it's business as usual. We're going to bury these people and then cry and say all sorts of things. It's gone. We forget them. So it can't be the case. And the reason we are here to get ourselves and the provincial government, with all the constraints that are following us, as part of us addressing this issue, it includes consequence management, but at the same time, what we as government we can do to salvage the situation and address the state of the road. That's what is important.
Yeah, consequence management and accountability. That's the issue I was going to ask you about, Minister. In 2015, just a stone throw away from here in Willowvale, 36 people died in a bus crash as well. And I heard that the bus company was saying that they were absolved from that investigation. No one was accountable. The issue of accountability, how sure are we? Because after some time, we'll hear other stories and this will just dissolve and nothing will be done.
How does a bus company avoid overloading? Leave alone the fact that whether or not the bus was in roadworthy circumstances, they will defend themselves. And this bus company, it's a cooperative bus company. It's not like private. It is people who came together, supported by government, to run this bus company. Yeah. So the question is, like we did in Centane, NTA, which belonged to government. I went there with RTMC, and all those coffins, I put them off the road, because at the end of the day, we should be responsible. Now, you've got a lot of these kind of buses that transport our people, and then at the same time, they are not roadworthy. Now, if your car or a bus is not roadworthy in this road, tell me, how will you survive? How will you survive here? If ever you put anything wrong, like it said, the bus went out of control. Over 100 people were in this accident. Now a bus, how many people does a bus take? 65, whatever that it takes. Now, I don't know the circumstances, but there is no justification. But over and above that, where we see dangers, like Moloto Road in Gauteng, like this road, that has killed 36 people before. And then there was another minister. Now, I've got 25 people who die. I'm here, me and the MEC, we are new. And then the issue of this road is also not being addressed. Those are issues that we need to take into consideration, and they need to be addressed. We need to do everything in our power, even if you don't construct the road, but in a danger zone like this, there should be some minimum protection for road users who are driving our people to work or wherever that they are doing that. So all of that, as we mourn and the people who have passed away, but over and above, my team, everybody else, we're working together with the province to ensure that we don't just announce, but we roll up our sleeves and basically do something about this road. Something has got to be done about it.
Speaking about that, let me bring MEC on that note. MEC, not to put you on the spot, but what is going to happen on this road?
Currently, I cannot confirm. You heard the Premier saying we are looking on alternatives of addressing our roads. This is not the only road, as the Minister has said. Currently, we are doing the Amadolin one, which has a 2015 incident where 35 people lost their lives. We are doing that, and it's cost 1.2 billion. This is longer than that, but of course, we look at what best can we do in addressing the road.
Okay, what sort of maybe temporary measures are going to be done?
Currently, our engineers would come up with recommendations of what needs to be done.
Okay. Let me bring RTMC also. What sort of interventions are you going to do? I understand you will be conducting investigations. What is going to happen going forward?
Well, like the Minister said and the MEC, the team, the crash investigators are here to conduct the investigation. As soon as the investigation is completed, we're going to hand over to the Minister and the MEC. We'll then have the recommendations, what interventions needs to be done.
Okay, and also before I let you go, Minister, just on the part of the families, you're going to be visiting them at the forensic site. What is going to happen with the families? Is the government going to assist in any way?
Well, government does what it's supposed to do. This is a road accident matter. So road accident fund is here, like I said. All our teams have actually been here, so they will do what they are supposed to do to support the families. For bereavement and compassion, the MEC is here, and at the same time we meet with the families and look what is best for the families in terms of what needs to be done. Of course, it is said we had to leave Parliament in Cape Town and everything else that we're supposed to do to be here. The President have expressed not only shock, but at the same time to say that you need full report about what happened here. And that is what we're following up. It's not going to be in vain. I mean, 25 people dying, even one life is too many. And therefore, it means we've got to declare a campaign on the road users, in particular the mode of transport, like buses, minibus, taxis, to say, do you follow the rules? And at the same time, dangerous roads in the Republic. It's not only this one. I'm sure there are many here in the Eastern Cape. Government, unfortunately, has got depleted fiscus and resources. We're dealing with e-tolls that have got a much bigger impact on the future of funding of the roads in the country. There is corruption. There are people who are awarded contracts here in the Eastern Cape to build roads. They have not finished them. And look at the impact of that to the poorest of the poor and everything else. So that is why law enforcement, when we talk about corruption and its impact on the fiscus, this is what we mean. So it means the roads that are unfinished everywhere else in the province and money was allocated, they must be finished. And then we minimize the death of our people. And in that sense, we must also intensify law enforcement and ensure that people abide by the rules and ensure that where they break the rules, the law take its course.
Do you have any sorts of resolutions that you are going to implement on those people who are transgressing and also flouting state funds? I understand on this road as well, there was also money procured for it to be maintained.
I can't come to that conclusion that there was money procured for this road to be maintained. If there is such, we need to know. I know that there is a road between Umtata and Engov. When I went to close that church, I mean, that road was being constructed. Even today, that road is not finished. And when I asked, Ilento no Satan ngenile up and all of that. Kwathiwa hayi no abantu ababenikwe imali ukwenza lo msebenzi abawugqibanga. Singayenza njani into enjalo? Izawubulala abantu la ndlela. Kuzawufuneka sihle kwakho. And then for the money that has been allocated to construct roads and all of that. And that is what we need to jack up our act. My team, MEC, we've got to consider the issue of roads in the Eastern Cape, and I will bring Sanral. Like in the Eastern Cape, you don't pay tolls. Up. And then we build roads and all of that. To say, working with the province, how can we work together to expedite where we can? Because there is allocation of money for rural roads construction. And in my view, look at the Eastern Cape more than any other place in the country, the landscape. Look at this. It requires priority. And the MEC, when she came in, and the Premier, they put this matter on the agenda. Now, it is more urgent than ever before that we attend to this issue, and we'll make proper announcements, and actions will be announced in the due course about what we'll be doing. Not just promises. Promises and lies is over. This is Kauleza time. I'm not going to come here because 25 people have done the kamis and the kyale apa and say, sizayilungisa indlela. Ingalungi indlela. We will sit down like the MEC says and say, was money allocated? If there is money, what do we need to do whilst the road is constructed to preempt any further death? Because this is a death road. It's not the first time. Kusifa bantu up.
Thank you so much, Minister, for your time.
Yes.
Well, that was the Minister of Transport, Mr. Fikile Mbalula, saying, of course, they are planning to expedite processes of making sure that the rural roads are built and also maintained. The members who are with him, the members of RTMC, they are saying they are also busy with the investigations as well. We'll be speaking to the Minister as well, and also we'll be going to him when he visits families at the forensic site to ensure, and also will keep you updated. From myself, Atule Joga, and my colleague, it is back to you in studio.
Thanks very much, Atule.